Op-amps, non-inverting amplifier and specifications. Prepared for collaborative creation of OER by our team RC1331005. The target audience is second year, third semester engineering students. After having discussed the characteristics of op-amp, inverting and non-inverting configurations, their applications, in this section we shall confine ourselves to the basic op-amp specifications before concluding our topic. The first specification that we shall discuss is the offset current and voltage. Now in an ideal op-amp, the output is 0 volts when the input is 0 or the two inputs are equal. But in actual operation, there is sometimes some voltage present at the output. This is the offset voltage. The manufacturer specifies an input offset voltage for the op-amp, and the output offset voltage is then determined by the input offset voltage and the gain of the amplifier as connected by the user. That is, in whichever configuration it is connected, either inverting configuration or non-inverting configuration. The output offset voltage can be shown to be affected by two separate circuit conditions. First, an input offset voltage VIO, and second, offset current due to the difference in currents resulting at the plus, that is non-inverting terminal, and minus, that is inverting terminal inputs. The next specification is regarding the frequency parameters. An op-amp is designed to be a high gain, wide bandwidth amplifier. This operation tends to be unstable due to positive feedback. To ensure stable operation, op-amps are built with internal compensation circuitry, which also causes the very high open loop gain to diminish with increasing frequency. This gain reduction is referred to as roll-off. In most op-amps, roll-off occurs at a rate of 20 dB per decade or 6 dB per octave. The user typically connects the op-amp using feedback resistors to reduce the circuit voltage gain to a much smaller value, which is referred to as the closed loop voltage gain, A suffix CL. A number of circuit improvements does result from this gain reduction. First, the amplifier voltage gain is more stable and of precise value set by the external resistors. The input impedance of the circuit is increased over that of the op-amp alone. Thirdly, the circuit output impedance reduces from that of the op-amp alone. And finally, the frequency response of the circuit is increased over that of the op-amp alone. Next we come to the third specification, that is slew rate. This parameter reflects the op-amp's ability of handling varying signals and is defined as the maximum rate at which amplifier output can change in volts per microsecond. The expression of slew rate is given as delta V naught by delta T, that is rate of change of voltage with respect to time, and the SI unit is volt per microsecond. The slew rate provides a parameter specifying the maximum rate of change of the output voltage when driven by a large step input signal. If one tried to drive the output at a rate of voltage change greater than the slew rate, the output would not be able to change fast enough and would not vary over the full range expected. This would result in signal clipping or distortion. So, the output would not be an amplified duplicate of the input signal if the slew rate is exceeded. The last specification that we discuss is common mode rejection ratio, CMRR. It is the figure of merit of op-amp which expresses the ability of the amplifier to reject the common mode signal. It is defined as a ratio of AD to AC, that is the differential mode gain to the common mode gain. An op-amp provides an output component that is due to the amplification of difference of the signals applied to the plus and minus inputs, and secondly, a component due to the signals common to both the inputs. Since amplification of opposite input signals is much greater than that of the common input signals, the circuit provides a common mode rejection, which is described by this CMRR. When separate inputs are applied to the op-amp, the resulting difference signal is the difference between the two inputs, expressed as VD, VI1 minus VI2. And when both input signals are same, a common signal element due to the two inputs can be defined as the average of the sum of the two signals and is expressed as VC is equal to half of VI1 plus VI2, that is average of VI1 and VI2. Since any signal applied to an op-amp is in general, have both in-phase and out-of-phase components, the resulting output can be expressed as V0 is equal to ADVD plus ACVC, that is the component due to the difference of signals and the component due to the common signal. Here VD is the difference voltage, VC is the common voltage, AD is the differential gain of the amplifier, and AC is the common mode gain of the amplifier. The value of CMRR can also be expressed in logarithmic terms, and the expression is here. CMRR in logarithmic term is 20 log base 10 AD to AC. It should be clear that the desired operation will have AD very large with AC very small. That is, the differential gain of the amplifier is very large while common mode gain is very small. This implies that the signal component of opposite polarity will appear greatly amplified at the output, whereas the signal components that are in phase will mostly cancel out, so that the common mode gain AC is small. Ideally, the value of CMRR is infinite, but practically, the larger the value of CMRR, the better the circuit operation. The output voltage, the expression that we had described earlier, ADVD plus ACVC, here is expressed in terms of CMRR. So V0 is equal to ADVD within the brackets 1 plus 1 upon CMRR times VC by VD. This concludes our discussion on op-amps. The references has been Chapter 10 of Electronic Devices and Circuit Theory, 10th edition by Robert L. Bolistad and Louis Nachalski. Non-inverting operational amplifiers from www.electronicshub.org, and Chapter 8 of Electrical and Electronic Systems of Pearson Education Limited, 2004. Thank you.